happened to you that you have so many things to do, but instead you're watching Netflix or playing video games?
Yes.
For example, you want to change your life, you want to quit that horrible job, you want to start a new job, you want to study something else, but you don't allocate enough time to do that? Why's that? Well, that's probably because you are self-sabotaging yourself. Today I will explain what exactly is self-sabotage, what are the common underlying reasons, and how you can overcome it to become the person you have always wanted to be. So what is self-sabotage? Self-sabotaging is any action that creates problems, that gets in the way of you achieving your goals. Those actions can be procrastination, stress eating, self-medication with drugs and alcohol, interpersonal conflict. At the moment, all these actions might seem like a good idea, and they might actually make you feel better. But if you do them all the time, in the long run, you will get away from your goals, and you will only hurt yourself. So what are the reasons? There are many reasons why we self-sabotage, and those can vary depending on your cultural background, on your previous experiences, on maybe your mindset, your thoughts. So every single case is individual, so you have to think about yourself here. Today I will give you 3 most common reasons, so maybe you will identify yourself with them. So the first one, worth. You don't feel like you deserve to be successful. Sound silly? Maybe. Maybe not. You have worked really hard. You got that promotion, you got that job you always dreamed of, that salary you always wanted. And then suddenly, you start arriving late, you make stupid mistakes, argue with your clients, and maybe eventually, you even get fired. Why? Cognitive dissonance explains this. It says that our actions always try to line up with our beliefs and values. So when they don't, there's inconsistency. And we feel uncomfortable. We want to try to line them up again. That's why next time you achieve something great, but if you don't truly believe that you deserve it, if you feel like you're not worth it, you're bad, you're ugly, you're not smart enough, you will fail. Number 2, scapegoat. It's always easier to blame something or someone else rather than yourself. So you can say, of course you let me, we argue all the time. Or, of course I didn't pass my exam, I had so many things to do. I mean, I didn't have time to study. In this case, both of these reasons might be true, but they are very superficial because there's always a deeper meaning. Think about this. Maybe she left me because I don't think I'm good enough for her. Or maybe I failed my exam because I don't want that promotion. Actually, I hate my job. I want to leave. Number 3, fear of failure or fear of success. Unknown is always scary. We don't know what's going to happen to us, right? There can be different situations, scenarios. So we don't know, and it makes us feel afraid. I'll give you an example with this to show you slightly clearer. For example, let's imagine that he's John, and he wants to set up a business. Okay? Let's imagine this situation. So let's look at 2 possible outcomes. The first one, so John sets up a business, then something goes wrong, he argues with the client refuses to pay, the client says that he's a bad worker, he badmouths him, so John, he feels bad, he feels hurt, he's left without money, he's betrayed, and his reputation also suffered. Feels bad, doesn't it? Let's imagine the second outcome. So in this scenario, his business goes well. In fact, so well that he becomes rich. But on the way to his riches, he starts losing friends one by one. Maybe because of the differences in lifestyle, mindset, whatever the reasons are. I don't think our dear John is ready to lose a friend. It's quite sad, isn't it? So what can you do to overcome this? So if you have one of these negative habits in your life that are not helping you, I mean, you should definitely work on them and you should change them. You can do it with a friend, with a therapist, maybe by yourself. But the first step always is to identify it. The second step is make a plan, make a list of what you could do instead. I'll give you an example, a real example. I have a friend, she was always arriving late to work. Always. She made a list to see why she's doing that. And she adjusted it accordingly. And finally, number 3, create a trigger. So when X happens, I'll do Y. My friend realized that she is late because she's scrolling Facebook every morning for 20 minutes. So she decided to set up an alarm after 10 minutes, so she could arrive 10 minutes earlier. I know, it's difficult to face your own demons, for sure. It's so much easier to live in denial, right? It takes courage, it takes strength, emotional intelligence to fight against yourself. But at the end, it's worth it. When you start understanding yourself, you start understanding the life you have created around you. Life is short, so stop being afraid, stop hiding. If you have to fail, you fail. You stand up and you do it again. And take responsibility for your own actions. Because I love this quote. Jenna Galbraith once said, once we stop blaming external forces and own up to our own responsibility, we become the ultimate creators of our own destiny.